Hi guys, this is me Deepak Varshani and I'm glad you are watching this video. This is my friend OPO. He is a lift specialist and today he will drive us the lift shaft which is connecting 13 floors, which includes 8 floors, 1 ground floor and 4 basements. And he will explain all the important terms and terminologies of lift and elevators.
My name is Martin Opio with 20 years experience in elevator industry. I'll go through with you one by one.
What is the lift shaft?
The lift shaft is normally a vertical hole where the lift or the elevator normally is stored inside. Let's just go inside and go through the lift shaft so you can understand it better. Now this is what we call lift shaft. It has got the lift component all over. This is what we call landing door. This is landing door. This is the motor. That one is the inverter. This one is the resistor. And then we have the emergency rescue device. Now let's go one by one in each floor to explain to you how the elevator is inside the shaft. We also have these ropes, hoisting ropes. These are hoisting ropes. You can see they are from there, coming this way, going to the something we call counterweight, which you will see later when we are going through. Then it comes and the dead end is there. This is we are on top of the elevator. This is on top of the elevator, where it is hosted through ropes. This is normally what we call junction inspection box. Inspection box is normally for the technician. When you do the service, you want to correct some of the things in the elevator, you want to go through the elevator shaft. This is normally what we use. We also have the light, which you can see. Now, the inverter and the controller is normally compatible. They work together. They work together to send the signal and to get every information through to cabin. We have some wires, you can see, not a lot of them. Most of them are for buttons, limit switches. This is what we call limit switches. We have what we call traveling cable. This is normally the cable which brings the communication to the cabin from the controller. We have, you can see these mechanical parts. These are for holding the lift. In a case lift is not in use for quite some time because of mechanical problems, things like that. We have, you can see some other devices just like this one. These are for floors. They are the ones which indicate which floor and what floor. In that device, there is a slow down for elevator. There is a number change for floors and stopping device. And they normally use this, what we call inductors. Inductors which sense the floors, the magnet and everything. Now let's go back to the shaft component and devices. We have something called governor, speed governor. It's normally regulate the speed of the elevator.
Can we go up to see
we can go.
Close view?
We can go. Let's go up for us to check it better. Now this is what we call the governor. It's normally regulate the lift, the speed of the lift. It's normally work in a two-way system. It is mechanical and electrical. It can engage in mechanical, and it switches off all the power to the motor. The motor, this is the motor, yes. So normally for the safety and everything, in case this lift, somebody come, maybe the lift got, the ropes are cut, this one is engaged mechanically most of the time. Just in case the braking system to hold on tightly. You can only remove the brakes mechanically. Only the technician can remove the brake mechanically. Then you go through the wiring system to unlock the blockage. Now this is what normally we call the machine roomless elevator. This is machine room elevator. You can see everything is here. The motor are here, the inverters are here, resistor, brake, the emergency rescue device, socket, everything. This is different with the machine room elevator. It's the purpose of this was to save the client, the excess building on top of the building, whatever the material. So nowadays it's a much more simple. It's a simple elevator. These are the rails. This one we call it the main guide. The main guide, yes. The main guides are different with the counterweight guides. You can see it's thicker and much more stronger than the counterweight rails. We'll come to that counterweight rails later when we are going down. Now let us go down and explain one or few things. This is where everything is in an elevator. It is the machine room. It has got everything in elevator. Downwards, we don't have much to explain, but you are going to see the counterweight, which normally counterbalance the elevator. Let us go down. Let us go down slowly. These are every floor. They are every floor. These wires, one is for hall lantern, the other ones are for buttons. So these wires are for buttons and hall lanterns only. Let's go down again. Now we've marked every floor. We've marked every floor, 7, 6, for identification of the floors when you are inside the shaft. We are now inside the shaft of the elevator. Let's go down. We have something else. This is the locking system. Let us go down a bit. We need to explain better. Now, this is the locking system of the landing door. What normally happens is simple. When the door is open, the current cannot go through. The current normally come here, pass through here, go to this one, then come back again, then going to the system. Now when the door is open, it's like the switch is off. The current is not going through. When the door is locked, you can even see the conductors. You can see the conductors. Now the power is going through everything, then back to the system. You can even see from here the contact. The contact is, you can see. Then this one you can see. Now that is the door system, the safety procedure of the door system. Let's go down a bit. We are on 4th floor, going down to 1st floor, where we are going to get the counterweight frame and the counterweight stones, the weights. Let's just go to the first one. Now this is the counterweight. You can see it's moving up. This is normally the counterweight, which counterweight the lift. You can see it's kind of a pulley. It has got oil ports for lubrication of the rails. If you see it very well, it has got stones. You can see the stones.
What is the weight of one stone?
One stone is, you can see, is 50 kg.
Okay, and how many stones are there?
Almost 20 something. They are almost 30. And one is 50 kg. So normally the work of these things is to counter weight the lift, the capacity. Like this one, we have a 1 ton capacity. It can carry 1 ton. We have to put these filler weights, we call them filler weights. These filler weights, you have to put count 1 ton for the passengers, then extra for the weight of the cabin, so as to counterbalance the elevator. The reason for this is just for the motor not to strain. The motor always the motor of the elevator doesn't strain itself. It's normally go down and come up. That is the work of this thing. So that's why most of the time you don't see the motor is burnt, broken or something. The motor is the most surviving part of the elevator, because normally it doesn't have so many works. The works of the motor is to go down and to come.
Okay.
Let us go down. On the counterweight, you can see the chain. You can see the chain, and you can see something that looks like a stand. The stand is normally to when the lift is running and maybe it's overshot the floor. The counter is which strikes the buffer. The buffer is the final limit switch to stop the elevator. Very, very sensitive and important part of the elevator. This is the work of that. The chain is just to compensate the weight.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go down. We have now reached the ground floor, going down to basement 1. We are on basement 1, going down. In the lift shaft, we normally don't have so many things. Now we are going to alight on basement 3 and go to the pit for some more information on the pit, accessories and the devices and the sensitivity of the pit. going, and to alert, it has got some sound in it. There is some sound in it, and the coloring are different. Green is for up, blue is for down. This normally, that is where I was telling you that the cable are coming from inside to this one. Now let us go to the elevator and go to the beginning. You can just come we go. Okay, these are the buttons. You can see. Basement 3. We are now on basement 3. You can see. This is normally to warn the people not to use the elevator in case there is fire. Normally when there is fire, let me explain you, it is very, very sensitive. When there is fire, the lift doesn't work. It comes from the top floor to the ground floor, and it doesn't go anywhere again. And the doors are normally open, so you cannot get elevator in any floor. That is why we normally request for use the stairs. Do not use the lift in case there is fire. Do not use the lift. Now let us go to basement 4. Now these are the car buttons, what we call car buttons. You can see how they are. We are from 7th floor to basement 4. This lift has got the intercom, alarm, and VIP switch, key switch. VIP key switch is very simple. It's normally shut off anybody using the elevator for the VIP people. Maybe you want to carry something in it, you switch it off. Like, let me just demonstrate it better. This is the key switch. You just activate. When you activate, you see, now the lift is in the independent mode. It cannot go where, it's only us who can use it. That is the functionality of this key. Okay, you can see below these buttons, we have 4 switches. We have door closing, door opening, intercom, and car alarm. Intercom is simple. When you press the intercom, it goes to the control room. It rings to the control room, then you can be able to communicate with whoever is in the control room for assistance. Alarm is the same. It's activated. When you press it, activate, it's ringing, and you can be helped immediately. So these two are doing the same job. But this one is much more better than this one, because you'll talk with somebody who is in the control room. The key switch, as I explained, that is strictly for independent of the elevator. This is what we call PI, position indicator. It indicates everything. Basement 4, overload. When the lift is overloaded, it shows here overload. When there is fire, it shows here fireman switch. It has indicated that the capacity is 1,000, persons are 13. So these small things is what we call emergency light. When the power is off, this is normally what lighten the car. When the lights are off, these are the speaker plus microphone. So when you are pressing intercom, you can be able to communicate and to listen to the controllers. Now we have some devices on the door. You might wonder why, when the lift is closing, let me just demonstrate it further. When the lift is closing, then when you put something, it's reopening. It's normally have something like a switch which senses the shadow of somebody. It senses the shadow of somebody, and when you put either your hand, any paper, it will reopen. We normally call it door detector. Our term, knowledge for this. It is a door detector. Anything, any debris, anything which is here, it's going to reopen. It doesn't close. And This is a very sensitive equipment of the elevator, because when this is faulty, the door cannot close and the lift cannot work at all. That is normally the cabin. I've explained everything about the cabin. Now we are now at the basement 4, where we are opening the door. You see the page.
What is this? You open from here.
Yeah, that is the mechanism, release door mechanism, door lock mechanism.
Okay.
We have here. I need to be able to show it.
Start.
Now we are on the basement 4. This is where the pit. This is the last floor of the elevator. This is now we call the pit. In the pit we have things we call stop switch. This is the light switch. That is another stop switch and communication system for elevator. When you are in the pit and maybe you need to talk to control a person. This is now what I was telling you about. We call it buffer system, buffer switch. There are 2. This is for the main elevator. There's another one there for counterweight frame. There's another one there. That is the governor pulley. It's normally have a weight block and some switch in it. That is the switch which activates the governor. We also have another switch. This last switch, we call it final limit switch. When the lift, maybe the lift was misbehaving and it has overpassed the floor, that is the switch which stops it from going further down. If that fails, then we have this buffer which also is doing the same job as the final limit switch. This is how the elevator pit looks like. We have the ladder. This one, the yellow thing, is normally for our safety. This is to protect us from getting knocked by the counterweight frame. You can see the other side of the elevator. It has got nothing more than load weighing switch devices down there. That is how the elevator looks like. Most of the elevator, because I've worked with this quite a few elevator brands, normally most of them are like this. Most of them. Let's go to this menu. This lift is 1.6 meters per second. It's very fast, but not that fast according to the building and the owner's specification. Now, you've seen this. There's a difference between this one and this one. This one is in a normal operation, but this one is with the lift technician. That is why indicating IF. IF is mostly with the lift. Not all of them usually have this. Some was different initial, but for this type of elevator, this is normally what is indicated when we are servicing the lift and we are doing some repair jobs on the lift. You can see the difference. It's very clear. One is 7th floor, one is IF. When it's in IF mode, it is with the lift technician doing the service or repair. Now let's go inside and go back to the top floor. Let's go.
What is this?
Okay. This is normally the cardo operating system. Cardo operating system. It has got locks just like the other landing doors. It has got motor. This one is a bit more different because this is the lift. It has got motor, the component which control the doors, and the wiring to the detector, which one we was talking about. You can see that this is the control panel for landing door. If you press it, you can see it's opening. And it is closing. It is normally switch for...
Oh, saw it again.
You can see it again. When you press open, it opens. When you close it, it closes. This normally works with this one, with other components of the lift. It's normally a connection between this and that for lift to work effectively. Now, if maybe we have a problem with the door, there are some parameters you will see. When the door is faulty, you will see some parameters in this. Then you reset it, or you go through the wiring systems drawing to see which fault is that. Now this is the motor, door motor. The door motor is which controls every car door. This is what we call skate. Skate is normally which enters the rollers and opens the door. You can see, you can see the difference between closing and opening. Normally when it's opened, it releases the lock of the landing door. Then it opens. Very simple. It's just a simple method. It's not complicated. So much complicated. It's just a simple method of elevator. Can come down. Let us now go up.
So what is the speed at the moment?
At the moment is 1 meters per second.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, not 1 meter, less than a meter. It's less than 1 meter per second. It's very slow. You don't need it to be in a very high speed and you're working on it. It is not safe. You need to be safe when you are on top of the elevator. See, that is the counterweight coming down again, and we are going up. It is normally painted yellow and black for our safety. So you can be able to see it earlier or faster. That is why it is painted yellow and black. This normally we call these fascias. Fascias, the work of the fascias is to protect the bracket inside. So it's that you don't see, it's just for the beautification of the door. At least it looks better when it has got this. It is called fascias. Let's go up. explained earlier about the landing door doubling system. We are now reaching 7th floor. Here we are. You might ask yourself, how does the lift sense the fire? We've got the device on the shaft which senses the fire, then activate the lift. Normally it's connected to the, you can see the red wire is going to the controller. Now this is the control panel. This is everything in the elevator. Inside, we've got some components in it. We've got the motherboard, the switches for technicians. Normally these switches are very simple. It's as the same as the one on top of the car. It has got normal operation, emergency operation. These other buttons are very sensitive and they are we don't normally use them much. We normally use this one, and this one. This one is the common. This one, and this one, these four, we normally don't use as much. This is the stop switch. Stop switch is normally to cut off the elevator, so it doesn't move at all. These are switches for shaft lights and emergency shaft light, just like this one. When the building has got low power and the lift is stuck. Now this is the normal operation, emergency operation. This signal normally is for those where the landing door is. You will see this signal blinking. This is the component for intercom. This is what records everything in the elevator, send it to another component in the control room. So, and we normally have the monitoring system. This is the one which sends everything, information from the lift to the monitoring system. We have a few conductors, a few switches, and fuses. We even also have the sockets and the main switch. Now that is how the controller looks like. We even have the fan. We pull out everything inside the controller. That is how it looks inside the lift control panel. They are different. This is only for this type of elevator. We've got several types of control panels, but this is for this elevator.
And these are always on top floor?
Yes, all of them are on top. Because you know the motor is here, almost everything is here on top floor. So that is why most of the time, in fact not most of the time, all of the elevator, the control panels is normally on the top floor. If it doesn't have the machine, it's normally here on the 7th floor. Because this is the last floor, top last floor, 7th floor. Now we've gone through all the elevator from top to bottom to pit. You've seen the most related components of the elevator. If in case you have any question that you need to ask, you can just ask and we'll be able to answer you properly.
You can put your any questions or query regarding lift or elevators in below comment box.
Yes.
And please like this video and share with your friends.
Yeah.
we have done in this video, and we will see you in the next video. Till then, you take care and goodbye.
Thank you.